So you have got a process, a very rational process, that is examination, in order to recruit the people. Not that this is good, but something associated with is that you're not providing the conducive environment for the examination to take place. Developing countries face, they have applied the bureaucratic rational legal rational process in various spheres, but simply the machinery is not that robust. The functioning, the system as we say, it is also those 2 to 3 hours that decide, and it is not like up to you. How are those 2 to 3 years? It is up to the system. It is the responsibility of system. It should not be the luck that, oh, I got a wonderful center and there was the AC working, the benches were all fine, the teachers were well trained and equipped, and I faced no problem and the paper was splendid. And on the other side, you have got a person saying that the teachers weren't trained, they didn't distribute the paper on time, there was the issue of power cut, the benches were having the dust on them, and some other problems, and thus subsequently what happened that I lost 20 marks. You seeing the difference? Yeah, the new civil society emerging. Particularly, it is the physics wala director Alakh sir who has hired the lawyer so prestigious like Jesai Deepak, who, but it's not gonna change if we do not constantly put our views in the public domain, because it is about the children, and children are about the future of the country. Getting unified, especially the NEET aspirants, and coming up as a pressure group. So I want the Alaksar, and the director of the physics wala and other coaching institutes to give it a broad shape. Already it is a pan India level movement which is going on, but I think this should further be broadened and should encompass all the exams under it, because in the lower rungs there's a lot of corruption going on. I mean, every now and then we hear the news of the papers getting leaked, or the people getting posts in money, giving the money, the bribes to the recruiter or intermediaries. A lot of times we hear this. So this should not happen. If the process is legal and rational, then it should be implemented and executed in a legal and rational manner, right? The idea and the practice, the practicality, the ground reality should go hand in hand. Yeah, so here we go finally. Namaste and welcome everybody. This is Karfit Jain, and this video is gonna be in the continuation to, or you can say that it is a complementary to the video that I released a few days back, primarily on the NEET examination, and broadly, and secondly on the body responsible for conducting it, that is NTA. And along with that, I covered a lot of issues, taking examples from my personal life that are there in the conduction of the examination, right? So today what happened that not today, yeah, yesterday it was my exam, and it was a NET examination, national eligibility test, conducted by the NTA only, and I went to appear in it, and already I have cleared it, and so much so I have the JRF, but I don't know for what reasons did I choose to again appear in it, maybe so as to improve my score. So anyways, coming to the main point, I went there in the center. First of all, the timings of the examination, it was 3 to 6 in Delhi, where the temperature is touching 46 degrees Celsius. It was 3 to 6. Okay, now you have chosen a good school superficially, at least on the face, because it was the Indian public school, and the Indian public school, on the face it looks like, yeah, it is a good school. The building, the infrastructure, the management, and everything was just perfect. Okay, so although we had to stand in the queue for like 1 hour, then we had to deposit our bags, for which they were charging 50 rupees. I don't know for what, when you are filling the form and giving them 1000 rupees, sorry, 2000 rupees, I guess. And I don't know what's the need. Anyways, like, it is up to the individual centers, I think. If they are taking care of your personal belongings, then they may charge you. Okay, that's all fine. So for 1 hour we had to stand in the queue. Okay, that was in the open area, in the bright sunlight. We should not call it bright. It was killing sunlight, the heat there, the scorching sun. Oh my god. Anyways, so we went inside, we sat in the exam room. Of course, like half an hour before the exam starts, that is at 3 p.m. And what happened that there was something wrong in the class, I feel. Not only I felt that, but other people as well. There was a lot of suffocation, for what? Because there were no windows, no ventilation. And this is a pro. I mean, there are pros and cons of everything. So it is one of the pros that, yeah, it has got centralized AC system installed there in the school, okay, which is really good. But only if you use it. If you do not use it, then there is no use of it being installed there. For what? So you wouldn't believe that for initial 2 hours they did not turn on the AC. I don't know for what reasons. And there was so much of suffocation, I cannot tell you. I mean, a couple of people, as we heard the news later, they fainted there. Okay, so they became unconscious because of the heat. Giving my personal example, I actually drank 2 liters of water. Can you believe it? 2 liters of water. I mean, 1 liter of water bottle that was mine, and another one that was provided by them. Okay, not the Bisleri or the seal pack, but yeah, they were filling it from somewhere outside, and there were the staff members, the servants, those who were there. At least this was something good. And I didn't go to urinate even once. Where did the water go? Where? It all perspired. It all, because of the sweating, through the sweating, it all left my body. The OMR sheet that I was having, it became wet. Not only on OMR sheet, but the question paper, the admit card, and other things as well. And I myself personally have almost fainted twice or thrice. And at last, when I couldn't bear it, couldn't tolerate it, like I express my views, I express my opinions, I raise my voice whenever I see that something bad is happening. Then I'm not that kind of person who would sit there, and mind own business. No, we live in a democracy. We'll have to raise the voice, right? I raised my voice. I told ma'am, this is unfair. This is totally unjust, and you yourself are sweating. Just look at yourself. It is not at all justified that you do not turn on the AC. For what have you installed it? I mean, you must have got some funds from the NTA, but this is unfair. Then she of course is not the person responsible for this. Then she forwarded my message to the another person. And after some time, what happened that the supervisor, the senior came. They saw the condition of the people, the plight of the people. I told them that this is totally unjust. And in the last moment, in the last hour, they, thank God, turned on the AC. Otherwise they were not turning on the AC. And the condition was like we were totally wet, as if the streams are flowing down our hands and all. What we can do? Can we get off the clothes? And I mean, what can we do except for fainting? These are some structural problems. This is not my personal problem which I am complaining about or ranting about. No, it is a structural problem. Mind you, this is Delhi. The schools are just fabulous. Even the government schools, for that matter, are good. And in a place like Delhi, if this is happening, then what would be the case in the other centers where the infrastructure is not good? Not many a times fans are installed there in the classrooms in the tier 3 to 6 cities, in the lower towns. And even if the fan is installed, what would that one single fan would do? I won't use the curse words here. What would that one fan or two fan do? I was sitting at the corner, okay. The gate was there on diagonally opposite to me, the main entrance gate. It was just one, okay. The room was inside in the center or middle of the building. And I told you, like, there were no windows. Even if they were there, they didn't open. You couldn't open it because of the functional or structural reasons. Like, it was the centralized AC that was installed there, but they weren't turning it on either. What would be the condition of the children, the students sitting there and taking the examination? There were people from all age group. I mean, nobody raised the voice. It was only me. But yeah, good thing is that when I raised my voice, then people supported me. And when people supported me, the pressure, got piled up upon them. Then they actually moved. They actually changed their heart and mind, and eventually turned on the AC. This is something like, now you would be saying that how is this personal experience is related to the past experience. So in the last video when that I released on the NEET examination, I raised the three pertinent issue. The first one was relating the paper leak, was related to the paper leak, that perhaps there was a paper leak, as there were some evidences from the Patna we got. And second thing was regarding the grace marks awarded to some students selectively and perhaps discriminatively, as the allegations are being raised. And third issue was related to whether the exam should be conducted again or not. Yeah, something like that. So why there is a need of grace marks? Why do you need the grace marks? In such cases only we need the grace marks. See, if you are conducting an examination, this is a very rational process. You are not selecting the people in anything, be it medical, engineering, NET examination, UPSC, anything. You are not selecting the people randomly, and you have got a system in place there. The organization, the institution, and everything happens according to the rules and regulations in a bureaucratic manner, right? So don't take the word bureaucratic in the usual sense. It is a very broad term. It basically means that things are happening according to the rules and regulations. There are hierarchy of people situated there at various levels. They are coordinating, cooperating along with them, and based on the rules, regulations which are equal for all, things are taking place, right? So you have got a process, a very rational process, that is examination, in order to recruit the people. Not that this is good, but something associated with is that you're not providing the conducive environment for the examination to take place, which is totally absent there. Now suppose, see, this is a discrimination, okay, and it can happen with anybody. In the last video I told you I was sitting in the examination, and I was sitting here. So for example, like this is my table, as I can show you. Like, so this was the total breadth of the table. The total breadth of the table is from here to here. Half of the slab was gone, and he didn't change it even in the last moment. He changed it at the very last moment when the paper had started. And mind you, it was the UPSC CSE examination. So these are the structural problems which not only India, but the I should say the not developed, not very developed, or the developing countries face. They have applied the bureaucratic, rational, legal rational process in various spheres, but simply the machinery is not that robust. The functioning, the system, as we say, as some journalists, Ravish Kumar and others emphasize, it is not robust, efficient, and solid. Because of them, children have to face such problems, and what happens is that resultingly they do not perform good. I again am saying, I'm not ranting about myself. Whether I clear this exam or not is not is immaterial. Why? Because I'm already sitting with the JRF in the hand. So this is not a personal rant. This is a main problem. This is the reason why lakhs of people have come on the street and protesting very rigorously and vigorously for the reforms in the NEET process. But little do they know that it is not only about NEET examination. It is an ubiquitous problem which is prevailing across the sphere, the administrative sphere concerned with the conduction of the examination. This is regarding the system. You have put in a place a very legal, rational process, that is examination, but you do not have the wherewithals, the training. You are not providing the training to the people responsible. You do not have a feedback mechanism. Mind this word, feedback mechanism. Suppose you do not ask for the reviews. You do not take the reviews of the children so that you can make the improvements, you can make the amendments, the tweaks in the process. Suppose that if they ask me for the feedback, okay, if you circulate a feedback the form on the internet, that Phil, how was your experience? Then 100 people, 1000 people, those who were sitting there and taking the examination will tell you that what were the problems. You have given them, the center, a lot of money, but they have actually, not utilized that money. All the money went to their pockets of the intermediaries or the school administration. It didn't reflect there. No, you're not turning off the AC. Such a low you have made, right? So in case like if the NTA, any examination conducting body, is circulating the feedback form, and we can actually review them, the invigilators there, the infrastructure there, the management there, then these problems would go to NTA, and they would, in the subsequent examinations, make sure that no such malpractice, I would say, unfair practice, unjust practice take place. Exams take place very smoothly, in the right manner, in the just manner. This is not just. Just compare the situation with the one who's taking the examination in some other place, in some other center, right? So what happens is that basically this is a study done by Elton Mayo. Let me slightly change the direction of the discourse and take you to a study done by the Elton Mayo, I think hundreds of years back, in a factory in Britain or France, I guess, so I'm telling you the crux in nutshell. What happens there? He goes there and studies the efficiency of the workers who are working there in the factory, and he tries to establish the correlation or the cause and effect between the efficiency of the workers on one hand, and on the other hand, the payments being made to them as a part of the remuneration. I mean, in the form of the remuneration, the salary, right? So basically what he says that if you increase the salary of the workers, then it doesn't necessarily and mandatorily always does not result in the subsequent in the resultant increase in the efficiency, in the hike in the efficiency of the workers. He says that there are other factors as well. If you take into consideration the human nature, psychological nature, behavior, if you take into consideration other wants, be them the superficial, not very integral, of the workers, and fulfill them and address them, then also the efficiency increases, even if you do not increase the pay, right? So he gave the example that if you are celebrating the birthdays of the workers, if suppose that baby a baby has just taken a birth in the home of a worker, then you celebrated it and you greeted them well on the festivals. You are giving them the gifts and all. You are giving them good vibes, not monetarily doing something. Then it leads to the efficiency increase in the efficiency of the workers. If you do not do this, then of course the efficiency will go down. So in this same manner, you have provided us the classroom, you have provided us the tables, right? But here there are some other peripheral structural factors also, which affect the efficiency of the student, the candidate who is taking the paper. It is not only the preparations that we have done in our homes, it is not only that, it is also the environment that you are providing in that particular 2 to 3 hours of examination that will reflect in our mark sheet. It is very important thing that I have emphasized on, and please pay attention to this. It is not only the preparation that you have put to, that you have done, the efforts that you have put into the preparation in the last whole year, or it is also those 2 to 3 hours that decide. And it is not like up to you how are those 2 to 3 hours. It is up to the system. It is the responsibility of system. It should not be the luck that, oh, I got a wonderful center and there was the AC working, the benches were all fine, the teachers were well trained and equipped, and I faced no problem and the paper was splendid. And on the other side, you have got a person saying that the teachers weren't trained, they didn't distribute the paper on time, there was the issue of power cut, the benches were having the dust on them, and some other problems. And thus subsequently what happened that I lost 20 marks. You seeing the difference between the two. So there arises a sort of discrimination, isn't it? It is, because it happens. And if you go on interviewing the students who are taking the examination, the candidates, if you do a survey sort of thing, this is suppose a research going on. I'm already a researcher. I haven't done the research formally into this in this thing, but yeah, I am into this for a long time, like mentally, because I have faced a lot of examinations. And recently this particular issue of need provided me the nudge, the trigger to finally speak on this thing. Because we all, no matter like you come from engineering background, medical or humanities, we all face the examinations, we all face the exams. And no matter you are a son or daughter of a business tycoon or a bureaucrat or a small farmer, the destiny, the system can land you anywhere and in any center. And God forbids if something of this sort happens with you. God forbids. So this is why I'm saying it is not a personal problem. I'm not ranting about my personal problem. This is an issue that impacts all. When I made the vlog on the real issue, then also I told you the same thing. It's not my personal problem that something happened with me and I'm ranting on it. This can impact or affect anybody. Thus we'll have to raise the voice. So thus there is a need for the revamp, for the reform in the manner exams are conducted. Of course, like the people who are privileged coming from the upper class, the privileged ones, they get a lot of extra relief for exam. Just after you come out of the examination center, we often see the cops who are escorting the candidates into the public vehicle. Let me tell you this thing again. And who are they? Like they are either the parents or the relatives of the candidate. So yeah, but yeah, inside the school there cannot be any sort of favor. Inside the examination center there cannot be any sort of favor. It's totally based on the luck. And just because I have interacted with many people, I can say you many a times it happens that you have done a lot of preparation, but what happens that something wrong happens in the examination center. Something you feel something wrong because the invigilators have not guided you properly, right? Some infrastructural problem. This is the problem related to the training of the teachers. If teachers aren't given the proper training. Second thing is infrastructure is not good with respect to the benches, tables, walls, the ventilation, the water, the toilets. This is the second thing. Third thing is the functioning. Second thing was the structure, the infrastructure basically. Third thing is the functioning. You have provided the AC system there, centralized AC there installed in the examination center, but it is simply not working because you haven't turned it on. Then what is the use? This is the functioning part. And fourth thing is the monitoring, which is very important. And monitoring and the feedback system. The monitoring system will the NTA can send the people. NTA actually, I don't think that they have the manpower to send the inspectors to inspect all the centers, that are they working fine or not. Even the inspectors come there, they won't gonna check the all the rooms there in the building. So better system could be as a part of the monitoring thing, that students themselves can be and should be given the feedback forms, that give your feedback. How was this center? Because if some center employs some malpractices and try to siphon off the money, right, and not actually utilize the money in the like proper maintenance and facilitation for the examination, so such centers should be debarred from the next time, right? Just like the students are debarred if they are caught doing something wrong or unfair. These 4 points are there. I think it is a high time the examination conducting bodies should keep in mind, because the crux is that no matter how much preparation you have done, if something or the other thing wrong happens in the day of the examination, for example, I have already given a lot of examples, and this is something which you guys can relate, right? You have been appearing in the examination for a very long time, so you must have seen that India, I mean, the system is not that very developed. The process that you have applied is very rational, The process is very rational, that you're not selecting the people based on the caste system, that only Brahmins would come to the professions. You are allowing SC ST people as well. This is a legal, rational, bureaucratic process based on the principles of I'm sorry, equality, right? Equity, professionalism is there. So this is the system, right? But this is the process. This is basically the idea, the process that you have applied here. But you need to have the wherewithal, the manpower, the training, the ground structure for this thing, for its execution, so as to actualize the whole process, the actualize the idea of what should we say, the legal rational examination process. That should also be there in place. Otherwise, what will happen, that a lot of people, not a million, but yeah, lakhs of people are lying there in a disappointed state, disappointed with the NTA for the recently announced NEET results, wherein almost 70 people have got rank 1, getting fetching total marks, that is 720 out of 720, which is totally unprecedented, because till last year only 2 to 3 students used to get such marks. And then NTA didn't tell the people, didn't release any notice, and it was later found out that they have awarded grace marks to some students. On what basis, to whom, that is still to be released. This is again a second thing. And third thing is whether the examination should be conducted again or not. So it is impacting a lot of people. Despite getting the full marks, you won't be able to get the best college of your dream, that is AIMS Delhi. So what's the use of putting a lot of efforts there? So there are clearly some loopholes, some problems in the system. Clearly there are, because it's not about one single issue, that paper leak, but a lot of issues, and thanks to the internetization, the digitalization, the penetration of the social media in the hinterlands, that people are increasingly becoming aware of these things. People are getting unified, especially the NEET aspirants, and coming up as a pressure group. So I want the Alaksar, and the director of the Physics Wala and other coaching institutes to give it a broad shape. Already it is a pan India level movement which is going on, but I think this should further be broadened and should encompass all the exams under it, because in the lower rungs, of the posts, government posts, there's a lot of corruption going on. Every now and then we hear the news of the papers getting leaked, or the people getting posts in money, giving the money, the bribes to the recruiter or intermediaries. A lot of times we hear this. So this should not happen. If the process is legal and rational, then it should be implemented and executed in a legal and rational manner, right? The idea and the practice, the practicality, the ground reality should go hand in hand. Well, this is the whole thing. If you have got some experiences of yours to share, then you can share there in the comment section down below, because that is how the discourse will take place. Because we know that, like, what the media, Indian media, shows us, and these are the issues thanks to the, I told you, the social media, digital media, the new civil society emerging in form of the coaching walas. Led by the coaching institutes, and their, not all the coaching institutes, but particularly it is the physics wala director Alakh sir, who has hired the lawyer so prestigious like Jesai Deepak, who must have put his views very valiantly and vigorously, I am pretty sure. But it's not gonna change if we do not constantly put our views in the public domain, because it is about the children, and children are about the future of with this Garvit Jain signing off. Jai Hind.